In 1913, the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung began to hear whispers from the edge of his own mind. After breaking away from Freud, Jung entered a psychological storm so vivid he feared madness itself. In his private journals, later revealed as the Red Book, he described speaking to ancient figures within his psyche, confronting monsters, and conversing with what he called the spirit of the depths. To the outside world, Jung remained a respected scientist, but behind closed doors, he was navigating the labyrinth of his own unconscious, a journey that would give birth to what we now call shadow work, the process of facing the hidden and rejected parts of oneself. What most people don't realize is that Jung's exploration nearly destroyed him. His nightly visions grew so intense that he questioned whether he would return to sanity. What he found in the depths reshaped modern psychology, but the path itself was perilous. The shadow is not merely the dark side of personality, it's the accumulation of everything we suppress, deny, or fear to acknowledge. To face it unprepared, as Jung discovered, is to risk being consumed by it. And yet today, shadow work has become a trend, popularized on social media, diluted into journal prompts and feel-good affirmations. The truth behind this practice is far more complex, far more dangerous than modern self-help culture admits. If you've ever felt drawn to psychology or spirituality, you've heard the phrase, "embrace your darkness." Maybe you've already tried to face your fears through inner reflection, asking what lies beneath the surface of your mind. But what if the advice you followed was only half the story? The same forces that helped Jung uncover his genius can also unleash self-sabotage, addiction, and emotional collapse if handled without guidance. Our modern obsession with shadow integration often skips the preparation Jung himself insisted upon: containment, structure, and a conscious relationship with the light. If you've ever felt worse after self-exploration, if your healing plunged you deeper into confusion or pain, you're not alone. The unconscious does not yield its treasures easily, and sometimes it is the explorer who becomes the prey. This film is not meant to scare you, it's meant to prepare you. Because when done correctly, integrating your shadow is revolutionary, but when done recklessly, it can destroy you. Shadow work becomes dangerous when unstructured exploration triggers affective flooding and destabilizes the ego's regulatory systems. Intense autobiographical recall can reactivate trauma networks, pushing the nervous system into hyperarousal or numbness. Without pacing, curiosity turns to overwhelm, sleep fragments, irritability spikes, reality testing erodes. Jung's visionary period shows why containers matter. He practiced entering and exiting imaginal states with ritual and structure. The shadow is charged content. Charge without containment becomes a descent spiral. Mira began nightly inner dialogues after a retreat. Within days, sleep vanished. Childhood images surfaced without context. She was mistaking intensity for transformation and flooding her system without exits. Use the rule of 90 seconds to surf emotional peaks. Schedule descent windows. If trauma or dissociation appears, pause and involve a clinician. Before depth, build a container. Otherwise, the next step isn't insight. Projection reveals what's disowned, but overzealous mirror hunting creates paranoia and boundary collapse. Not everything disliked in others is your trait. Not everything repressed deserves expression. Daniel labeled every irritation his issue, apologized compulsively, and invited exploitation. Therapy helped him separate signals from echoes. Use the 3-filter check: signal, shadow, strategy. Keep a weekly log distinguishing boundary data from echoes. Seeing the mirror is power, mistaking the mirror for the world is peril. Archetypal activation fuels creativity, but unmanaged immersion invites grandiosity and fragmentation. Jung paired depth with ordinary life as ballast. When archetypes hijack the ego, symbols are misread as literal commands. After vivid dreams, Leo believed he was chosen, quit commitments, and spiraled. A mentor reframed his visions as symbolic and restored balance. Use Method 371, grounding habits, delayed decisions, external checks. Treat images as hypotheses, not orders. Archetypes illuminate only if the lamp in your hand is steady. Unprocessed trauma sensitizes the mind. Probing it can trigger flashbacks or dissociation. Self-guided exposure without stabilization amplifies symptoms. Nadia journaled about neglect, then lost time for hours. A clinician introduced phased work: stabilize, process, reconnect. Proceed memory work with grounding, safe place imagery, short exposure followed by deactivation. The echo isn't the enemy, the unpaced encounter is. The golden shadow, disowned strengths, can destabilize like darkness. Sudden life overhauls without infrastructure lead to collapse. Priya discovered creativity, quit her job, and faced financial ruin. A bridge strategy made her talent sustainable. Test strengths in low-risk pilots. Light also blinds when it arrives too fast. Exposing the mask without social planning breeds confusion and isolation. Integration changes relationships. Disclosure must be calibrated. Omar confessed everything publicly and faced backlash. Reframing authenticity as layered transparency rebuilt trust. Use 3-ring reveal: inner, professional, public. Integration is personal, but never private in its effects. Untrained helpers can miss red flags like dissociation or reenactment. Ethical depth work demands consent, referral, supervision. A coach invited cathartic recall. The client developed panic. After supervision, they paused deep work and set clear scope. Ethical quad: consent, scope, referral, supervision. The edge of growth is also the edge of harm. People collect symbols but never act. Jung saw images as data for meaning, not orders. Sora journaled about a locked greenhouse. A behavioral bridge tending one real plant brought growth. Bridge protocol: image, impression, hypothesis, experiment, adjust. Symbols open doors, strategy walks through them. Shadow is personal and collective. Cultural shadows, prejudice, scapegoating can distort personal work. Elena internalized discrimination as projection and burned out. Education and allies restored dignity. Map, me, we, world. Self-regulation, relationships, systemic learning. The ocean moves the swimmer. Wise swimmers read the tide. From chaos to choreography, stability, value aims, filtering triggers, choosing one channel, active imagination, dream to action or projection mapping, and closing with exit rituals. Techniques include titration, archetype fasting, 90-day pilots, ethical guardrails, and trauma care. Transformation looks like steadier ordinary days, not endless catharsis. Return to the beginning, a mind at the abyss choosing rope over freefall. Not spectacle, but mastery. Not hunger for intensity, but the craft of integration, where darkness serves your values. Take 3 steps. Fix bedtime, turn a symbol into an experiment, set a respectful boundary. Close with circuit breaker. Orient, breathe, move, speak your return. Protect the vessel, and the voyage will reveal clarity, warmth, and strength.